Next we have what are called binary files. So these are different from text files. In data files you have stream and system oriented. In stream you have text and unformatted. Now these binary files is a different nature of files because it stores different type of information. Data which are related to numbers, numeric values, can be efficiently stored in the form of binary files. So this is mainly used to store numbers or mathematical information. They are useful to handle file containing machine language contents. So normally when you run a C, C++ or a Java file, you will see that in your memory you actually created only one file, either .java or .cpp or .c. But when you run it, that is when you compile it and it is successful, that is the compilation is successful, there are no errors in your program, you will see that in your storage there will be two more files, .bin, .exe, .bak and so on. So all these are called machine language files. They will have information that we cannot understand. It will be understood only by the system because the information that is present in these files will be in the form of machine language contents. So these are also binary files. So binary files, when it comes to the user, mostly we store only numbers, and in addition to that, when we write some program, we store it, we compile it, we see that it creates binary files which indicates that the compilation is successful. So what are the advantages of using these files in C? They are a permanent storage of data. They store large amount of output. So for some files, if you see, the output will cover the entire screen. So in order to store it permanently, we have to write it on some paper, or in order to remember it, we have to make a point that so much of output has been generated. So in order to avoid that work by the user, we can store such large output in a file itself. So it will be permanently stored. Whenever we want it, we can use it. Storing large input for repeated execution of the same program. See, when you want to know whether a program is working correctly, you won't just execute it once. You will execute it with different types of inputs and see whether the program is working correctly for all the outputs. This is okay when you are having small inputs like addition or subtraction, something like that. But when you are having a large input, for example, when you use data structures, you have these knapsack problems, traveling salesman problem and so on, where either the output will be large or in certain problems you will have a large input to be given. It will continuously ask you certain questions and you will have to keep answering them. So in order to avoid such repeated manual information by the user, you can store the input in a formatted manner in the files itself. So what the program will do, it will be directed to the file, it will take the input from the file, it will execute it, and whatever result is obtained, that also it will store it in another file. So here if you see, the programmer's intervention is very less, or the person who is using the program's intervention is less. He neither has to give the input nor the output. He just has to write the program in a manner so that fetch the input from the source file and store the output in the destination. So this is another advantage of using files. Transfer of input and output data from one computer to another is also easily done. So when you have to store, transfer information, move information from one PC to another, either in a network or across a network, it's easy to do it using files. You just have to transfer the file name. You don't have to transfer individual contents. So these are the advantages of using files.